Hi everybody. Today we are going to do chapter 4 on agriculture. And my name is Snigdha Sharma. I am your geography educator on study room. So, can you make a list of some industries based on agricultural raw material? It's very easy. Right? This activity has to be done by you, but I can cite an example for you, that is cotton. And even jute industry for that matter, right? So now we are going to learn about types of farming. Over the ages, our types of farming has evolved, right? In the initial stages, we used to do primitive subsistence farming, and now we do commercial farming. What is the difference between primitive subsistence and commercial farming? Primitive means traditional. Subsistence, this term is used when a person is making for living, right? Making money for living. So traditionally for living the farming was done, and that was referred to as primitive subsistence farming. Then came intensive subsistence farming, right? It is practiced in the areas West Bengal, Kerala, coastal Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. This is a modified version of primitive subsistence farming, right? So initially they did only for living. That type of cropping structure they followed. They followed means farmers followed, but then they also used to take their crops into the market, right? And they used to sell there and make money out of it, some profit out of it, and they used to buy some other things like manures or something, fertilizers they might, right? So they used to do intensive subsistence farming. Then came your commercial farming, that is for profit making purposes, right? All right. Here is primitive subsistence farming. And there is a very prominent example, that is slash and burn. What do you mean by slash and burn? So they used to take up a land, grow their crops over the years, one after the other year. And so what happens that the soil might reduce or might lose its fertility. So after some time, they used to abandon that particular land and move to a new land. Okay? Till the time what happens? That this land regains its fertility. You know, animals used to do their cow dungs, and in this way, like naturally, they regain their fertility. Okay, so this is called slash and burn. This is okay. So to regain its fertility, also, what they used to do, that used to cut the stubborns left over this land, right? So when you burn everything over that area, so in this way all the fertile elements get replenished in this land or in this soil. Okay, this practice is done in northeastern areas, referred to as zooming. Okay, this type of farming is practiced on small patches of land. Generally they use only small patches of land. Large land they cannot abandon. Do you understand? So small pieces of land they can abandon and they can move to next small piece of land. So this is very economical as well, and this is very eco-friendly for them, but it also has several complication because the fire might, the entire place might catch fire. Sometimes it happens forest fires takes place because of this cultivation, but this is often done with a lot of care and patience and time, and therefore when the care is taken, okay, necessary precautions are taken, then bad things don't really happen. Okay, it is referred to as zooming in northeastern states. So you can see the video here, and zooming is also referred to as Bevar, Podu, Kumari in certain areas. So, can you enlist? The first question is, can you enlist some crops grown in zooming or shifting cultivation? You all should remember it. What are the crops? Maize. Okay. So, the writing is not all right. Maize, millets, some pulses, and some oil seeds. Right? So, these four crops are enlisted in zooming and shifting cultivation. We have already discussed in detail what is shifting cultivation. They take up a land and move to another piece of land in a span of time. Then comes our intensive subsistence farming. Let's just discuss it in detail. So intensive subsistence farming is they do sell the crops in the market, right, and they have partial, they keep the crops to themselves as well, so that they do it for living. But there is, like, this is a very simple thing that you can, subsistence is for living, right, but this is better than primitive. Now they are doing intensive cultivation, right? But the major problem is right of inheritance. So right of inheritance has rendered land holding size uneconomical. So big people are keeping big hold of big chunks of land, right? So this is creating problem. There is an increase in wide disparity between rich and poor. High inputs of irrigation and fertilizers are used to ensure higher production, and this can only be done when we have seen that in primitive they only use natural stuffs, right? Natural irrigation supplies, or right, natural methods. But in intensive, they take the help of market as well, like inputs of irrigation like tube wells and all are installed, and this can only be done by rich people, right? So there is land holding done, which is a matter of concern here, and this can only be practiced by people who are above middle class, right, or middle class people or rich people, but not the poor people. So that is a problem because land holding size has created a ruckus in the agricultural system. Then, can you name some states of India where intensive subsistence farming is practiced? We've already discussed it, right? First one is West Bengal. Second state is Kerala. Third state is coastal Andhra Pradesh. Fourth state is Tamil Nadu. Right? All right. Moving to the next slide. Then comes commercial agriculture. For profit making, it is often used. So commercial farming is characterized by use of high doses of modern inputs. So even some you might have seen Reliance has huge lands, and Reliance farming So that is only for commercial purpose. You understand that? That are only for profit making. So private firms are, collectively owning large blocks of lands to obtain higher production and very, very modern inputs, right? So give some more examples of crops which may be commercial in one region and may provide subsistence in another. Commercial means profit making. So somewhere you are providing profit, but sometimes it's just for living, so that their daily meals are sorted. First example is your rice. Okay? In Haryana, it is for commercial purpose. But in Odisha, it is for subsistence. People grow it so that they can live, they can feed their family. See? Alright. The second example is maize. We have already heard maize as an example of zooming cultivation, right? But zooming cultivators, what they do, that they use it for their subsistence. While Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, they use it for commercial purpose. And zooming cultivators like subsistence. You get it? Is it alright? Are you getting it? Moving on to the next slide. Plantation farming is an example of a commercial crops. So let's see what it is. Okay. So plantations are labor intensive and offer higher migrant workers. Migrant workers are the workers that are from that have traveled places, that are from different countries, or they that are from they may be from different countries as well, but from the poorer regions. Some go to the cities to find work. So these are the migrant who move for work and labor intensive, so you require a lot of labor for it. So a lot of capital is also generated in this. Capital refers to money. So a lot of money is generated in this plantation farming, and a large businessmen used to do this plantation farming. So a single crop is grown on a large area using capital intensive inputs. Capital means money. So a lot of money is made, and as well as a lot of money is used as an input. How? A lot of money to buy certain inputs, right? Like, HYV seeds, fertilizers, modern method of irrigation. But like tea plantations are in Assam only, like at areas where they receive higher rainfall, right? So they can manage it. They do not need much of irrigation facilities. So that is why geography is very important, and geomorphology is very important for what? For selecting the fields for plantation also, right? So tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana are important plantation crops in India. So plantation farming needs what? Raw materials, okay? A high degree of raw materials and other industries. So these farmings, also the crop grown here is used, sometimes used as raw materials for other industries, right? So they should be located around where there is a lot of transport and communication is done. You can reach market. Availability is must here, so that you can reach, the fresh leaves can reach to the market easily. So market, transport and communication, right? Processing industries should be nearby. So we have understood all about plantation farming right now. that what are the factors, what are the things needed, what are the factors input needed to grow those crops. So here we come to the end of this part of the video, and we have discussed about the types of farming done, from subsistence farming, traditional subsistence farming, to intensive subsistence farming, to plantation crops, that is commercial crops. And we have discussed about a plantation done in the areas of teas, coffee, banana, and what other factor inputs need, and markets should be available near site. So I hope you all have enjoyed the chapter, and we will connect again in the next video. So stay here in study room and go through the chapters again if you need to revise all these basic concepts which are very important from the point of examination. Thank you all. Take care.